Hi, it's Leslie, and we're talking about Golden Bachelorette. Gotta admit, this show's a little rough. It's a little rough, but I'm trying to hang in there. So basically, it's a bunch of older people kind of moving into a house and vying for the heart of this one Joan, whatever. But oh my God, you never really think about it until they all move in. Well, we got to think about it this time. Older people, of which I'm starting to become one, they got a lot of issues. They got like snoring issues. They got to pee multiple times during the night. I'm surprised someone didn't show up with that contraption. You got to plug in that helps you breathe at night so you don't die or you stop breathing or whatever it is. They got issues. They got meds. They got things going on. It was just kind of like not the romantic feel I was looking for. And then a little bit, Pascal, the high maintenance, Dr. Sabag kind of guy. He's sleeping on a single bed, and this is why.
Sleep naked.
Wait, what?
I sleep naked.
And which one's your bed?
This is my bed.
Exactly.
I sleep naked, that's why I want that bed, because in the middle of the night, I wake up about a couple times a night to go to the bathroom, so don't mind if
No
I'm
obstruction.
naked.
So there's no
Don't worry,
obstruction.
I'm very comfortable with my masculinity.
Alrighty, I mean, as if the first visual wasn't bad enough. It's just not, it wasn't what I envisioned starting this series. But anyway, this is what we got, and this is what we're working with. Okay, so granted, I have not watched the whole Bachelorette season, so I'm so new to this. I think I watched it like 15 years ago. I don't even know. But, okay, so the guys are there, and you only got to move in if you got a rose. So it's like, you don't even get to unpack unless you get that first rose. It's cold. It's cutthroat out there in this mansion. But anyway, this is how it's going down now. So you got this set of guys, you got 3 dates, 2 group dates, and a single date. And of course, you want that freaking single date. But then if you're on the single date and she doesn't give you a rose, you're out. You're out. It means she liked you enough to want to date you singly, but then got to know you and didn't like you. So that's, it's cutthroat. It is what it is. So they start calling the group for the first group date. And I'm just thinking, oh, this is the loser group. Like, I mean, that's terrible to say, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking. I'm hearing the names and I'm like, loser, loser, loser. Oh, this is the bunch of losers. It's going to be like the A group and the B group, and you're in the A group. If I was one of those guys' names being called, I was like, oh, this is the losers group. But then they called Keith, my guy who I think is like in the running. He was in that group. I go, okay, maybe so it's not all the losers. Maybe they spread out some of the good ones, because there really is only a couple good ones amongst this bunch of losers. You remember Keith? He was that. He got the first rose for whatever it's called. First sighted, he got it. First impression rose. Anyway, so this group of mostly losers, their first date is going to be the prom. So, okay, I didn't go to my prom. It was, whatever. And nowadays, people go to proms, they go in groups and stuff like that. But, it's like this group of men, they all come with baggage. Like, they got baggage and they got heartbreak and they got spouses that died. And it's just kind of like they all got baggage, a lot of baggage. Anyway, it's the prom. Joan looked cute. I mean, she has a rockin' body. She looks like she's had a little work done. No judgment. Lord knows we all need a little work, myself included. But anyway, she's got a great body, beautiful legs, short, cute dress. You could see the legs. I mean, she looked great. Very promish, those, But, yeah. And here's how some of it went.
So I'm going to just let loose out there.
Let's go! This is the first date! First date of the season!
Alrighty, Gary, putting his best foot forward. I mean, he seems fun, but loser. For me. Anyway. And then there's Jonathan. Very cute black guy. Like the pink suit. He's obviously fit, He looks fit. Like, I think he was very cute. And he's got a freaking sob story. I guess he got invited to the prom, or he invited someone, and then they turned around and said, like, aren't you over it yet? I mean, please, please. And then Jordan, I guess, went on a date with Taylor Dane, who I remember Taylor Dane from way back in the day, and she was the singer at the prom. Very, I guess they picked a singer from that era, so that makes sense. He had gone out on a date with her. It sounded like 5 minutes, so it sounded like one of those speed dating kind of situations, and I guess they weren't a match or whatever. Fascinating. And then, how interesting, Dancing Gary is Tina Turner's godson. Wow. These are just not run-of-the-mill schlubs. These are schlubs with a story and baggage. But all this was sad.
prom is a little bit new to me. In general, I'm a very confident person. But after my wife passed away, sometimes I shut myself.
Sitting there all alone. I mean, it's just sad. A lot of this is just sad. Charles L. It seems like he always has a lot of confidence. I think he's quite the catch. But there he was sitting all alone. It was just sad. I was like, oh, there were other girls there. Couldn't one of them go over and hang with him? I mean, because they brought other girls in, so she wasn't the only girl. I guess Charles, Chuck, whatever, he'd only dated his wife, and she only dated him. Like and now they don't have, I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
I think today is the first happiest day with me since my wife passed away.
Oh my gosh, I mean, is this really the happiest day since, like, this, meeting just some random girl on TV? Is this really the happiest? That doesn't fare well for your life, but whatever. Hope he doesn't get the boot, because that wouldn't be good. And Chuck, one of my friend's favorites, got the one-on-one date. Okay. Way to go, Chuck. I mean, he's okay. I mean, all these, well, some of them are okay, but, yeah, no, I don't know. Forgive me if I'm mixing all these names up, because I will until I get to know him. But Charles, the cute black guy with the pink suit showing like he's fit and everything, he was prom king. And I was like, oh, that's nice, because he had a horrible, horrible experience as a child, or as a teen, getting stood up and all things. So at least they can rewrite that little bit of history. So good for him. Waited 43 years for that redemption. So there you go. And this is just like one of Joan's favorite lines she uses.
Dancing with Jonathan, I just feel special in his arms.
Yeah. She says that a lot. I feel special in his arms. We just fit. Oh, he feels, I feel safe. It's all about the feeling in the arms, whatever. I mean, I guess, whatever. I guess it's a nice thing to say. So, whatever. She feels special in his arms. So her date with Chalk went wonderfully at Disneyland. They had chemistry, or so we thought. And yeah, Joan said he was a great date. And surprise, surprise, yes, he got a rose. So Chalk is safe from elimination of this round. Anyway, so the other group date was a talent show. Maybe they picked these groups based on, like, if any of them had some talents. Why put someone in the talent show if they got nothing to work with? Because that would just be setting them up to fail, and that would be mean of the show. So maybe this group is the ones that just oozed, like, they looked at them and they're like, they got some talents. We want to see that stuff. And the winner of the talent show gets the romantic date with Joan. Needless to say, the talent was scarce. It was hurting. It was definitely things they threw together. They did not get, notice ahead of time, but they did what they could do. Some came with talents, or so they thought. Dancing, singing, stuff you think you're good at until you realize maybe you're not. But yeah, they were there. So Dan, I guess, has tremors. It's just like, all the old people problems. Like, we don't want to, I guess he has hand tremors or whatever. So he worked that into his little ribbon routine.
I'm not nervous. I have a little bit of a tremor. So when I looked at these, I'm like, this is perfect for my shaky hands. You guys know this. So this is for you, Joan. All right.
And everyone seemed to like that because he was vulnerable and, had a sense of humor about it, because you gotta laugh. When you're getting older, take it from me. You gotta laugh at all the shit, because what else are you gonna do? And Dan won with his ribbon, talent. So there you go. Worked for him. Captain Steubing, whatever his name is, Captain Lee, he was sad. He's a gamer. Like, he does not want to lose, and he was noticeably upset after this little shindig.
I'll be heading back to the mansion for you two.
I'm opening myself up to love somebody again. And so I'm feeling sad.
So Dan, because of his ribbon talent, got the one-on-one with Joan, and then she got an earful of, I guess, the trauma that he's been through. And I guess at one point, I didn't understand, he had like really bad diabetes, but he was told by a doctor that he had 6 months to live, and somehow he turned it all around, and he looks fine to me. He looks great. I mean, and he's still living, I guess, every day like he could be your last type of thing. So that's a kind of cool thing that comes from thinking you're going to die. But yeah, so I guess they made a connection. They were holding hands, had a little kiss at dinner. So, it's kind of working.
Clearly, we've had a really good connection tonight.
Yeah.
Dan, will you accept this rose?
Yes, absolutely. Well, Joan, thank you so much.
I feel so lucky that I got to have this day and that somehow the universe told me to choose Dan.
And hopefully I haven't screwed all this up, but I believe then she gave him a rose, which, you know, he should for just that story. How do you not give him a rose? But he got a rose, so he's not eliminated and gets to continue on with this glorious process. Anyway, so the rest of the crew is back at the house, the man house, and they're doing a barbecue. And all I thought about when I was watching this whole thing of them doing the burgers and cooking and everything is this is a bunch of men, and this happens when you get older. They are so stuck in their ways. Like, you know, you can't tell him, oh no, that's not the right way to make a burger. You make it like everybody has their way of doing things and no one's gonna budge. You are so set in your ways that it could be annoying. So you either like that or you don't. So that's what she has to work with. But anyway, so at one point she's out with Gary, who to me, he's a super nice guy. He's the godson of Tina Turner. That's his claim to fame. But anyway, and dancer and all the things. She's with him and sitting there, and then she says this.
Hold on 1 second. I have something I want to grab. 1 second. I'll be right back.
I was like, what? I was like, you gotta get something? I was like, holy shit. She's gonna go get a rose and give it to him. I was like, no freaking way. There's no way. How in the world? I was like, what? No. She comes back and she gives him a framed picture of them at prom. And I was like, and he was so choked up. I'm like, these people need a life. This is just so sad to me. That meant so much to him to have this framed picture with this girl that he's known for all of a week or so. It was like life-changing to Gary, who started to tear up and all the things. And another guy she was sitting with, I guess they commiserated over the fact that they're both still in love with their dead spouses. Okay. What a way to bond, but okay. Anyway, Mark then comes out, and Mark is like, I was gonna say the older man, but they're all older. That's my dog. She's already protesting to what I'm gonna talk about. Anyway, Mark comes out, the guy with the beard, very nice guy. And he must realize that clock is ticking, you know, I gotta make my move or whatever, and I guess he has something with the language, kind of holds up these cards in a different language and makes her try to guess what he's saying. And then, of course, he pulls his he'll play, and one of the cards says, can I kiss you? And she's like, absolutely, you should ask before and all the things. She's all open. I guess, you know, if you sign up for this shit, you know you're going to have to kiss a bunch of frogs. You can't just say, like, oh, I don't really kiss on the first date. No, that's not acceptable because there could only be one date, and you need to sign up for this shit. You got to kind of put out a little bit, I'm thinking. Oof. But she was game, and off they went kissing, so that made Mark very happy. You know.
Kann ich dich küssen? Can I kiss you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. You could have said it in English, too. I would have said yes. Yeah.
When it's funner. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. You should have asked for that, too.
Kiss was right.
And no shock, Mark got a rose. Yep. Anyway, then the rose ceremony came, and they try to make it really like suspenseful and all the things. And I'm just like, come on, you can't tell me that you can't pick off a bunch of these that you know there's no way that's going to happen. But anyway, she makes it look like they're all in the running and they're all winners from being there and all the things. And she gives them all, and that ER doctor, I guess, I'm starting to learn his name, started sweating it till the end because he was just like, and he's cute, but he's just not appealing. Anyway, he did make it in just under the wire. I don't know if they're read. They should announce, like, in no, you know how they say, like, in you know, like for those beauty pageants, they say, oh, we're going to read the top 10 finishers in no particular order. She should say that, because I don't know if Guy thinks, like, I was just in under the wire, or I could have been her favorite one and she just read me last. Like, you don't know that. But at that point, I think Guy's just thrilled. I got a freaking rose. I don't give a shit if I was the last one. I'll make it up next week. But it's just the usual crew that you're expecting. It's the ER doc, obviously. I just said him. Mark, Captain Steubing, Pascal, Dr. Sabah. Who else? Well, all the usual people that we hear about. Keith, who I guess if I had to, you know, if a gun was hit to my head, if I had to pick a favorite, I think I go with him. I kind of like him, you know. But we were sad to see, and unfortunately I don't even know his name. I think he's from Long Island, the fun, happy guy that everyone said they'd be pissed off. He would say, he was just fun. I was like, and she kicked him out. So he went home. But he had a good attitude about it. He's like, it's a freaking TV show. I know this girl for a week. That's what he's thinking. Like, I can't get upset about this. You know, life goes on. And that was Crazy Jack. I just saw my note. His name was Jack. So yeah, sad to see him going, but Great attitude. Then I just had to highlight this quote from somebody.
Every day I get a little calmer in my own skin in a way that maybe I haven't been up until now. This has been transformative for me, to be honest with you. And if it ended abruptly, I'll be really disappointed.
Really? You gotta get out more. I don't know. Anyway, anybody who's lasted this far in this video, you gotta let me know whether you're watching this show and following it, because I am on the bubble. I am on the bubble and getting through this thing. I'm hoping it picks up after she weeds out some of the riffraff and we get down to like the nitty gritty of the group. But let me know if you're still watching this stuff and if you want me to keep covering it, because I kind of like it. I'll end up watching it regardless, but this is a hot mess. This is a hot mess of like peeing and snoring and defibrillators. I don't even know what. All old people problems. I don't even know, but let me know. But anyway, I follow this nonsense every week. Maybe not this, but I follow this and other nonsense every week. So if you want to follow along, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you next week. Bye.